Students, good morning. Today we are going to see Suzuki Kasami broadcast algorithm. Shared variables or a local kernel cannot be used to implement mutual exclusions in distributed systems. As we have already seen in the class, shared variables or local kernel can be used to implement mutual exclusion only in the single systems. In distributed systems, it is not a useful one. So what is solution? Message passing is the only way to implement mutual exclusion in distributed systems. And there are three ways or three approaches. They are token based, non-token based, quorum based. And Suzuki Kasami broadcast algorithm is the example for token based, and Ricard Agarwala is for non-token based algorithm, and Miyakawa algorithm is for quorum based algorithm. Suzuki Kasami algorithm is a token based algorithm for achieving mutual exclusion in distributed systems. In token based algorithms, a site is allowed to enter into critical section only if it holds the token. In non-based algorithms, use timestamps to order the request for the critical section. But in token-based algorithm, the sequence number is used. Each request for critical section contains a sequence number. This sequence number is used to distinguish old and current request. Let us see the data structures used in this algorithm. We are using two arrays and one queue. First one is a request array, Rn. And next one is a token array, Ln. Okay. And the subscript variable of request array run from 1 to n. The n is the number of processes being run in the distributed system. Okay. And the subscript variable j indicates the largest sequence number. And the request message id, sn. id means id of the process or id of the site. Okay. And sn is the sequence number. And ln, the size of the token array ln is n. That is the number of processes being run or number of sites. So it varies from the subscript variable of ln varies from 1 to n. Q, it's a data set used for a token to keep record of the IDs of site waiting for the token. And this diagram indicates, see the diagram, there are three processors running, and you have one queue, one token, the resource, that resource can be accessed by the process. Now the last one is a token array. Okay. If a site or process wants to access a resource, then you should first enter into the CS. CS means critical section. Assume three sites are initially running and none is requesting critical section. Three sites are running. That means three processes are running. So n equal to 3 and I varies from 1 to that is the subscript variable or running variable of the array varies from 1 to 3. Not 0 to 2 as like in C or C++. Here 1 to 3. So there are three arrays. Rn of 1, Rn2, Rn3. And size of each array is 3 because 3 processes are running. The array index varies from 1 to 3. Okay. See the diagram, 3 processes and each process has one request array Rn, Rn1, Rn2, Rn3, and size of each array is 3. Initially, no site is requesting for CS. So all request arrays Rn of I, the array elements of all request arrays are 0. See the diagram, all array elements are 0. Take the request array Rn1, all array elements are 0. Take second array, all elements are 0. Take third array, all array elements are 0. Token array, Ln, is array used by the token. Ln of j is the index variable or subscript variable, indicates the sequence number of the request that is recently executed by the site s of j. Key is used by the token to keep record of the site. How a request can be accepted by all sites? It is based on the condition. A request is accepted if Rn of I varies from number of processes, 1 to n number of processes. J is a subscript variable. So the array element stored in the subscript j of the array is less than the sequence number, then the request will be accepted. And if it is not, the sequence will not be accepted because it will be treated as an outdated request. Okay. Assume site 1 wants to enter into the critical section to access the resource. So it sends a request message I, SN to all other sites, where I is the site number or site ID and SN is the sequence number. Site 1 first updates its sequence number in its own array. First of all, the site 1, it has to update its sequence number in its own array. Okay, so see the array R1 1. The first element becomes 1 now, that is updated from 0 to 1. Okay, the first element is updated to 1. That's it's updated with its sequence number. Its first sequence number is 1. So the first array element is updated from 0 to 1. Site 1 sends request message to all other sites. What is the request message? Format of request message, site ID, sequence number, right? So see the diagram, site 1 sending request message to site 2 and site 3. And the array element, first array element is already updated to 1. Now it's sending request message to other sites 2 and 3. Okay. Now the other sites 2 and 3 should check the condition to accept the request or not. Okay, see the array diagrams, Rn2, Rn3. Rn2, see initially all array elements are 0 in both arrays, Rn2, Rn3, all array elements are 0. So when if we check the conditions, what's the sequence number? 1. So take Rn2 of subscript variable, index variable 1. What's the data stored there? 0. So 0 less than 1, true. Take the next array, Rn3. What is the data stored there? In 3, Rn3 of 1, 0. So 0 less than 1, true. So the other sites 2 and 3 accepted the request of site 1. Okay. Condition satisfied by all sites. That is, the request is not an outdated one. Now all sites update the sequence number in its own array. Okay. See the diagram, all other sites. That means only 3 processes are there. Site 2 and site 3 updates the sequence number sent by site 1 in the subscript variable or running variable 1. Now j is 1. J is the subscript variable. What's value of j now? J1. So Rn2 of 1 becomes 1 and Rn3 becomes 1. Okay, see the diagram. How site 1 getting the token? Initially, assume site 3 is holding the token. See, site 3 is holding the token. It should move to site 1, then only site 1 can enter into the critical section. Then only it can access the resource. Okay. Assume initially the token is in site 3 holds the token. As site 3 receives the request of site 1, it places site 1's request in queue. See the diagram. As site 1 is on top of the queue, site 3 sends token to site 1. Okay. Now token has been sent to site 1. Now site 1 possesses the token, so it enters into the critical section to access the resource. See the diagram. The token has been moved from site 3 to site 1. So now site 1 holds the token. So it will be able to enter into the critical section to access the shared resource. After executing the critical section, site 1 comes out of it, and first of all, it will update the token array ln. Okay. So after execution, ln of I equals to Rn I varies from 1 to 3, you know. Okay. So ln of I equal to Rn of I subscript I. So what's latest sequence number? Sequence number equal to 1. So see the formula. So now ln of 1 becomes 1. As per the formula, ln of 1 becomes 1. Okay. Then you will see the array ln to know whether the other sites 2 and 3 are requesting for CS or not by checking the condition. This is a condition. Okay. Rn of I of j equal to ln of j plus 1 or not. Okay. Plus 1. It will add plus 1 to the latest sequence number stored in the array ln by checking whether it is equal or not. Okay. For value of j, Rn of I, the condition. Okay. If satisfied, then site I checks whether j is in token queue. If it's not in queue, then updates the queue and place all our sites requested CS in the queue. For checking this condition, take sites one's request array Rn and token array Ln. Compare them. Okay. Compare them by adding +1 to token array. How we can compare? See the diagram. Check all other sites whether they are requesting CS or not. Take the request array Rn1. Okay. Sequence number is 1. So take the Rn1 of 2 and Rn1 of 3. The data stored in Rn1 of 2 and 3 are 0, 0. So compare Rn1 of 2 with the token array Ln at the subscript variable 2 or index variable 2. The data stored in both locations are 0, 0. So if you apply that one in formula, 0 equal to 0 plus 1, 0 equal to 1 false. Condition is false. So site 2 not requesting critical section. If in case, if it is equal, the corresponding site assumes the corresponding site requesting for the critical section. Here 0 equal to 1. It's not 2, right? False. So site 2 not requesting the critical section. Similarly, compare the third one. Okay. Rn 1 of 3 and compare with the Ln of 3. So the data stored in both locations are 0, 0. So if you apply the formula, 0 equal to 1 false. So site 3 also not requesting for critical section. So site 1 holds a token with it and not giving it to any other sites as they are not in queue. Okay. Because none of the other sites are requesting critical section, site 1 itself will hold the token. Okay. Now, site 2 wants to enter the critical section to access the resource. So it sends request message I, SN to all sites. The I is the site number and SN is the sequence number. Site 2 first updates its sequence number in its own array. Its first sequence number is 1. So it has to update its own sequence number in its own request array Rn2. Okay. So site 2 now sends request message to site 1 and site 3. See the request message being sent to site 1 and site 3, 2, 1. 2 indicates the site number 2 and 1 indicates the first sequence number of site 2. 1 is the very first sequence number generated by the site 2. So the request message will be 2, 1. 2 indicates site number or site ID. 1 is the first sequence number generated by the site 2. So it is being transferred to site 1 and 3. Before that, site 2 updates its own sequence number in its own array. See the diagram. Now other sites will check the conditions. As usual with the site 1, here we are checking. So 0 less than 1 true, 0 less than 1 true. So other sites 1 and 3 accepted the request of site 2. Condition satisfied by all sites. So the request is not an outdated one. Now all sites updates the sequence number of 2 in their own array. See the diagram. The sequence number of 2 is updated in the request array Rn1, Rn3. Okay. See the diagram. One is being updated in site 1 and site 2's array. Now site 2 getting the token. We know that site 1 is already holding the token. We know that first time site 1 requested the CS, right? Now site 1 is holding the token. We know it, right? So site 1 because it should be moved to site 2. Then only site 2 can enter into critical section. Okay. As site 1 receives the request of site 2, it places the site 2 request in the queue. So site 2 is on the top of the queue. So site 1 sends a token to site 2. Now site 2 has a token. So enter into critical section to access the resource. Now the token has been moved from site 1 to site 2. Meanwhile, site 3 also wants to enter into critical section to access the resource. So it sends a request to site 1 and site 2. Each sequence number is 1 as it is first time requesting CS. So it will be accepted by all other sites, and also site 3's request is placed in the queue by site 2. See the diagram. Site 3's request is also placed in the queue. See the diagram. After executing a critical section, site 2 comes out and update the token array Ln as usual. Okay. Now the token array Ln is updated. Okay. As usual, as you see in site 1, that same formula applied here. Site 2, after coming out of criticism, it checks all other sites as with this formula or condition. It has to check whether any other sites request is in queue or not. Is satisfied, and site 2 checks whether J is in token queue. If not, it will update the queue and move the site on the top of the queue, and it will give token to the site which is on the top of the queue for checking this condition. So we have seen that site 3 also want to enter the critical section. So site 2 updates sequence number of site 3. Site 2 already updates the sequence number of site 3. See the diagram, see the array Rn2. The sequence number of site 3 has been updated here to 1, because in between, while site 2 is in critical section, site 3 also requested the critical section. So it sends a request message, and all sites receive the request message, and its request message is satisfy the condition. So the site 2 updates the sequence number of site 3 in its own array Rn2. Now site 2 checks all our sites whether they are in the queue or not, using the same formula. As we have seen, site 3 wanted to enter the critical section, and it have already updated sequence number to 1 in Rn2 of 3 as shown in the previous slide. So since the 1 is updated, now the conditions becomes true. Since it is true, it indicates that site 3 request is placed in queue. It's an outstanding queue. If in case site 3 is not placed in the queue, now it will be placed in queue by site 2. Since site 3 is in queue, site 2 gives token to the site 3. So in this way, all sites enter the critical section to access the resources. What is outdated or old request? After many requests, the request array Rn array of all sites may be as shown below. Now site 3's request is reaching all of the sites with the sequence number 3, but the latest sequence number of site 3 stored in Rn array of all sites is 5. 5 less than 3 false. So this request is not accepted and is an outdated request. See the next slide. As shown below, site 3's request 3,3 is being sent to site 1 and site 2, but it's an old or missing or outdated request, and now only it is reaching the sites. So it should be rejected, as the latest sequence number of site 3 is 5. See the diagram. The latest sequence number of site 3 is 5, but the sequence number 3 is being sent to sites 1 and 2, but 3 is less than 5, or 5 is not less than 3. So condition is not satisfied here. So the concept of algorithm is site request is accepted based on sequence number, and token is allotted to site which is at the top of the queue. Here 5 less than 3 is false, so request not accepted. Both site 1 and site 2 will not accept the request because the sequence number stored in their array is 5, but the current sequence number coming from site 3 is 3, and since 5 is not less than 3, condition false, the request cannot be accepted because it is an outdated or old request. Okay. So what's the meaning? The request is not reaching the other sites on time. So, some problem occurs. The request is missing. Now only it is reaching. So it should be rejected. So thanks for watching this video. You can email me at anbu ss16@gmail.com. Please subscribe this channel. Thank you.